Back here on CBS Sports HQ, where the countdown is on, just a week away from the 2025 NBA Draft. Loads of talent in this class. We'll have all the coverage come draft night Wednesday, June 25th, right here on CBS Sports HQ, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, breaking down each and every pick and their landing spot. For much more on the upcoming NBA Draft, let's go ahead and welcome in our own Mike O'Donnell for more. Mike, we're going to go ahead and start with the top prospect in this draft. That's, of course, Cooper Flagg, and we're setting the tone here, a piping hot take. We're going to go through some superlatives: the top prospect, the best shooter, most versatile player, etc. We begin with Cooper Flagg is the best prospect since 2003 LeBron James. The floor is yours.
It's true. You guys make me a hot take. I can't stand it. But, okay, so if I was to look at this, you know, in a very simple way and say, okay, preseason expectation for Cooper Flagg was sky high. National Player of the Year, ACC Player of the Year, National Freshman of the Year, ACC Freshman of the Year. If we look at the on-the-court action, what he does, Cooper Flagg played some of the best two-way basketball that I've ever seen. What I mean by that is you have to worry about his three-point shot. He was top 15 in the nation in dribble jump shot scoring efficiency off the pick and roll. At 6'8", he was one of the best pick and roll scorers in the country. That does not happen. Players like that do not grow on trees. And also, by the way, I say two-way, he was an elite defensive competitor. He was on the ACC all-defensive team as well. I understand you're going to say, what? You can't believe that's ridiculous. You're a prisoner of the moment. I think from a scoring standpoint, I think from a defensive standpoint, I think from an expectation standpoint, he exceeded every expectation. Not only just met them, but exceeded them. And then on top of that, he is also an extremely high IQ passer, over 4 assists a game. It's the whole package. We haven't seen a guy like that. I'll also say the last thing. He reclassified to play. He should be playing college basketball this season. He reclassified early to go to Duke early. He should still be in college basketball, but he's so good. And what he did was otherworldly this season. I don't mind saying, I understand I might get blown up for this. I don't care. There is absolutely a legitimate reason why he's been the best pro prospect since LeBron James. Not saying he's going to be that.
Right, of course.
But from a perspective standpoint, that's where he's been.
Yeah, but still, there's a lot of pressure that comes with earning that superlative.
Oh, yeah.
Best prospect since 2003, LeBron James. We'll wait and see. All right, next on our list to hand out our superlative, best shooter in the upcoming NBA draft. This one kind of comes as no surprise, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, yeah, absolutely. But he will, from Kentucky, he's about 6'6" shooter, and he'll probably go in the second round, mid to late second round, because there are some issues defensively, maybe ball handling. But I think those will kind of get fixed. He could be a real specialist in the NBA. I really believe that Kobe Bryant, there's a lot of people sleeping on his game. He is such a good three-point shooter, right? He's over 45% from three, but he's so much more than a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. He was second in the nation in dribble jump shot scoring efficiency, second in the country in college basketball last season. Played in the perfect system in Kentucky and Mark Pope's offense that is going to translate really well to being able to space, come off of screens, down screens, pin down, stagger screens, catch and shoot. The form is fluid. It's perfect. So much Duncan Robinson in his game.
I was going to ask you an NBA comp. Okay.
I think there's a lot of Duncan Robinson in his game from his height. Defense has to get fixed, but that kid can absolute flat out shoot the ball. Yeah,
ranked among the top three-point shooters, both at Kentucky and at Dayton as well. Excited to see where he lands. Next on our list is the best overall athlete. Tell us why it's this guy.
The Big 12 Freshman of the Year, VJ Edgecombe. When you watch him play, there's a lot of Victor Oladipo in his game. Remember how good Victor Oladipo was at Indiana from the athleticism standpoint. But he is both a tough and dynamic athlete. What I mean by tough and dynamic, usually a player is one or the other. He's tough in that he's got a big-time motor. He never stops working. He never stops moving. But dynamic in that he can also glide at the same time. He's not this bruising athlete that's just trying to run through a brick wall. You see the toughness on the defensive end. I think Edgecombe could be the best shot blocking guard in this draft. on top of he is the best dunker in this draft class as well. If you see him in the open floor, Baylor fans were treated to essentially a highlight reel of dunks every single game that they watched. Edgecombe has a smooth offense. I think his dribble drive action and penetration has to be a little bit better. But my goodness, you watch him play max vert, standing vert, off the bounce. The kid is an elite athlete.
Yeah, his ability to play both ends of the ball really attractive to many teams in this upcoming NBA draft. Let's keep it rolling here. Best versatile player in this upcoming draft. Nick Clifford, you were one of his biggest fans this season.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players to watch on film. I had a chance to see him in person a little bit, and I think he's the most versatile player in this draft because about 6'6", 6'7", every team in the NBA could use a Nick Clifford, right? He averaged 19 points a game, shot over 40% from three, 9.5 rebounds a game. Oh, and by the way, 4 assists as well. He does everything really well. He doesn't force any of the action. He lets the game come to him, and he can guard multiple positions. He was a Mountain West all-defensive player as well, and at 6'6", 6'7", he can guard point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and he is just such a great defender, even in the post, off the glass. I think any team in the NBA could use a Nick Clifford. I really believe that Nick Clifford could have a 12-year NBA career.
So do you think, though, all of those strengths that you really listed out will really outweigh the concerns with him having not played the highest level of competition, having played in the Mountain West? Because that's a topic of discussion with him.
Well, what's interesting is that, he played at Colorado for a couple of years and transferred to Colorado State, but the system fit him better, and also the player development, he just got better. He is going to absolutely crush every single interview with every single general manager because maturity level is off the charts. You talk to him, his intellect, his IQ is elite. And so I think a lot of that gets made up for his ability to essentially see the game, talk the game, read the game, and understand it at a very, very high, mature level, makes up for all those other concerns.
All right, lastly here, the most underrated player in this upcoming NBA draft. How is a national champ in Walter Clayton Jr., a guy who won so many accolades this past season, including MVP of the tournament, the most underrated player in this year's draft?
Thank you. Preach on, Giorgio.
I
appreciate that. That was good stuff. That was gospel right there. Walter Clayton Jr., because of his height and because of his age, right? He's an older point guard. He's only about 6'2" when you take the shoes off. So he's a smaller point guard. Those guards, those scoring guards in the NBA don't tend to be longer lasting guards, but we're starting to see that change a little bit, right? Obviously, one of the first player that comes to mind is Fred VanVleet. I think Walter Clayton absolutely can have a Fred VanVleet type career in the NBA. He was the Tyrese Halliburton of clutch shot making in college basketball.
This is true.
In the tournament, he was SEC tournament MVP, one of the best players in the SEC. He was an AP first team All-American. He makes shots off the bounce, off pick and roll, catch and shoot. He was the best clutch shot maker in college basketball because of his height, because of his age. He's going to get pushed to later on the first round. I think that's fine. Let everybody sleep on Walter Clayton Jr. I think that kid's the truth, and he's going to have a long NBA career.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to prove a lot of doubters wrong. Mike O'Donnell joining us here live on CBS Sports HQ with some of the superlatives for the top prospects in this year's NBA draft. You can get more from Mike on the clock coverage next Wednesday, June 25th, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will have all of the takes of all the top landing spots of some of the top prospects in this year's 2025 NBA Draft.